your budget. So that's that. But look at your entertainment budget. All that eating out, not really needed. Now somebody say, well, I eat in. Well, if you eat in and you invite everybody over, I don't know if everybody brought a dish. But and I'm not saying to anyone to be antisocial by any means. But you have to put your family first. And age does not matter. Because I have a friend of mine that lives in Atlanta. She said, Barry, you've got to talk about what happens to the middle-aged people that are not ready for retirement. That's why I talk about asset accumulation. Because when you're moving in through your 40, your 50, you're like, man, can I live off that? Maybe not. But if you start building your portfolio now, and I'll get into that, Maria, when you go to the next one, where you talk about the asset accumulation, you'll see it. It's so possible. Look at that. Can you imagine? 60% of Americans don't have $1,000. Well, that's real. That's so real. So you know that budgeting and putting it together to have money is very important. Okay? And then you individually, I call it unique consciousness. In your unique consciousness, what's going to give you financial peace of mind? Hold that thought. I put that up there because it's a financial literacy course. But the reality is what gives you peace of mind. Think about that. What gives you peace of mind? If you get a flat tire and you didn't buy a spare because they gave you that fake spare when you bought the car. Your gas pump goes out. So many things that can go wrong if you're not saving. So if anyone wants to volunteer financial peace of mind, don't do it. Write it down. Please make a note on your notepad so that you know what your goal is. But that's part of your goal, Park. When you talk about credit, most people don't like to have that conversation because when we're young, we all make mistakes. Okay, so I can tell you. I know it's going live. I remember when at the point in my life I had to file bankruptcy. Yeah, and I fought back. I don't mind fighting. I don't mind working, but it happened. But that's not even the point of bankruptcy, excuse me. The point is, do you know your credit score? And this I want to show hand. Do you know your credit score? So, young lady in the back, how about that? Do you know your credit score? Yes? Oh, that's beautiful. And whatever it is, keep that in mind because if you have a 640 or better, you can actually buy a house. At good rates, I mean, not the special stuff. And if you're not, we could talk after or call me and I'll be glad to give tips on getting your credit where you need to get it. I'll be glad to. My pleasure. No, that's no charge. I'm just saying. I'll be glad to. And then if your credit's good, you've got to build up. I say savings here, but what we're talking about in reality is just stacking cash. Just, the more cash, the better. Especially if you have a better half or a second half or a partner or anything along those lines. As I said to someone the other day, if you have two incomes coming in, but there was a point in that transition where someone wasn't working, they were out having a baby, I hurt my leg on the job, my wife was working, whatever it is, and you made it on one income, just because you get two incomes, don't go, let's go get another car. Don't do that. You get the next income, it comes back and it bounces back into your life. Whoever's making the least, put that money away in the bank. Well, at least half of that. So now people go, well, how much money do I really make? I don't know the incomes in Macon, but I think $15 an hour is a reasonable income in Macon. Or is that high in Macon or low in Macon? I don't know, but let's go in the middle, right? You think 12 really? No, I'll work with 12. Okay. That's the only person that spoke up, so I'll run with 12. But let's figure out, I'm going to sit right next to Marquez here. But let's figure out our income. So, and each person is there, and I'll work with 12. If you make $12 an hour, and you work in a 40-hour week, so you're saying there are people in Macon, Ruth, that are bringing in $480 a week, right? Okay.
I know that person moved here. It was $12 an hour.
How long you been here, though?
Yeah, I've been
So you think it may have gone up a little bit?
I don't know, because my son moved here from Colorado. My son moved here from Colorado 2 years ago. And this money where we go, they like.
Okay, so let's stick with that then. That's reasonable. So that means for the year, he's making 25,000 a year divided by 12. So he makes $2,000 a month. That's just the numbers.
But there are other jobs that make more. He had a job at 17.
I'd rather do it on the low number because the whole point of this drill is to let everyone know that you can buy a house. That's just the reality. Because if you're making $2,000 a month and you're able to you're putting away savings on certain mortgages, here in Macon, you can find a mortgage for $1,100 a month.
So he said, what is it to buy a house, 640?
Yeah, and just to get a good rate. Yeah, that's and I say that because when we go to the next slide, you'll see how in progression, you get your first house, you stick with it, you go with it, and as you build equity, usually in 3 to 5 years, you can get another house. And if you have a partner, the first house you get, just get it with one person. Everyone's on the deed, so ownership is still with together. And then you move to the next one. But the number one thing I want to really get out to everyone today is credit and budgeting. You have to write it down because I don't want to get into anything personal, anyone, but if you look at it, the money that's spent, most of your entertainment money goes to entertaining yourself. Beer, wine, movies, whatever. Nothing wrong. Movies, whatever. All that is okay. But make a budget. Make a budget. Budget your entertainment. Okay? Budget your groceries. You cannot go in the grocery store and go, man, I'd love to have an extra box of Laundry doing shortbread cookies. Um, listen, I'm not. Listen, listen. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with shortbread cookies, but I think if one box is okay. You know, my wife and my daughter look at me right because like, yeah, you bought 2 yesterday, but but excuse me. But I have to be honest with you. Discipline is the toughest part of growing. Right? That's why they call children immature, because we haven't. I mean, not we. I'm not a child. Sorry, but it's discipline. That's what makes the difference. Like I know a couple here that's been together for a long time. That would be me and my wife. 34 years. Okay. And when my wife met me, I say that to say that. So I always go, so why'd you marry me again? Like, because it's baffling to me because I was that I did. That was the holder right there, Ruth. Yeah. Okay. But I say that because when you grow, those things make a difference. So don't take that lightly, but I'm telling you, the budgeting, I've nothing you leave here with today. And the budgeting calls for business, personal, everything. You can't run a business and don't budget. That's why I say that all relationships, to me, are exactly the same. You're organic, you're transparent, and you do it in good faith. If you meet me and you say, Barrington, I want to buy some widgets. Widgets could be anything, of course. And I say, Barrington, I want to buy widgets from you. Well, you know what? I want to sell you widgets. But I don't want to sell you green widgets if you want black widgets. That's good faith. That's transparency. That's organic. And if you have good relationships, it works in business, personal, basketball, marriage, friendship. It's the same thing. So that means you don't have to keep changing who you are. You can be who you are and just get it in, get it done. So get your discipline together and save and do your budget. I don't want, I could harp on that all day. That's how important that is. So important that if it wasn't for David, that's the guy's name, that came to our house and showed us how we were wasting $1,000 a month, and we captured that. By the way, I didn't mention it. We bought a house 2 years later. That was our first house in North Miami. Yeah, it's real, man. It's so focus on that. Okay? Park, go right ahead. The debt, no, debt management real quick. I say debt management, don't worry about that. Because you don't need a lot of credit cards. You can buy a house off your cell phone bill. You can buy a house off your car insurance. You can buy a house off your cable bill. Those can be tracked. So do not feel that pressure. And I know we all have credit now. But as you know, your friends, your sisters, your brothers, your cousins, no, you don't have to go crazy and get a bunch of credit cards. You don't need that. You just have to manage what you have. And that's enough to document that you're a good person and you're worthy of us lending you money to buy a house. Please, we've seen it happen. Okay. Um, Now let's talk about controlling your finances. You see the point they made here? Adapting to change. Babies, job loss, job promotion. Grandma takes on extra children. Being able to adapt to change doesn't mean spend more money. It means budgeting better. It means budgeting better. I think red bottoms are great. Let me just say that. I've seen them. I don't have any. But I ain't going to, I will never have any. But I've seen them. They look good. But I don't get the point. I've seen pictures of Dubai. You know, they made islands in the ocean in Dubai? Like they made their own islands. Yeah, Dubai's serious. But why would someone that has a regular everyday job waste money to go to Dubai? I don't know. That's what I mean. Control your budget. Oh, yeah, girls' trip. My fault. My fault. Oh, yeah, me and my brethren. Oh, damn, that's important. My fault. Really? Come on, man. Go to the cage and play ball. I'm just saying. Let's be realistic in what we do. Okay? Now, guest park. No. Market conditions. Seller's market, buyer's market, recession, depression. All of these are life's distractions. You know what's really interesting about that? If you save and you show discipline, those market conditions don't affect you. If you save and are disciplined, those market conditions don't impact you. Of course, it's a buyer's market, but I'll save my money. I can still buy a house. Oh, it's a seller's market. Oh no, I was using my 401k and my deferred comp and my TSP for a savings plan. I love that one. Yeah, we were saving. So, God, it's terrible what happened, but we ready. You follow what the discipline I'm talking about here? It's so important. Capital investing, all that is saving your money, investing back in yourself. Save your money. See, how many times, that's all I talked about today, right? Save your money because there's a story out there that goes like this. A boring life is the best life. If you find yourself, you're hitting all the concerts, you know what? Well, yeah, I heard Moneybag. Moneybag is in Atlanta. I'm going to see him. No, I'm going to see what you need. I just said, I got time. I got time today. Moneybag, baby. I'm going to see him. No, don't do that. No, I'm not being funny, but you don't. No. Save your money. Am I here to tell you never have fun? Y'all too lucky. Y'all got each other. Y'all ain't got to go nowhere. Shoot, I already know that. I ain't going nowhere. What? Or the river. Okay, so that's what I mean. Like, come on, man. Don't get distracted by other things and things that are coming at you, because that's what they're there for. They're there to distract you, to get you off your game, to make you do foolishness. But don't forget, we're a consumer-driven economy. If we don't spend money, the country doesn't go. So everything you see wants you to spend money. Everything. That is the point. If we don't spend money, the consumers, the country stagnates. Yeah, interest rates go up. But that's not our issue. Our issue is to save money. We're not, the economy's not ours. Our economy is like this. I think they told me it's a 3-foot box. That's your economy, and it goes way up there, and it comes way down here. All the other stuff out there, Distractions. Just keep that in mind. The whole system is set up for you to spend money. The way to beat the system is to not spend money, save money. Please. That's right. Spoken like my wife knows. Opportunities. Thank you. That's a fact. Okay, so let's do that. And my favorite, real estate. I could spend all day on real estate because I get it. If I were 17 getting out of high school, I'm getting a real estate license. By the time I'm 40, I'm rich because my first 5 years, I'm not going to make money. But after you figure it out, my Lord. And now, real estate, that's where the asset accumulation comes in. You buy a house, you're in it, you love your house. But remember, your first house is not your last house. Your first house is not your last house. So that big fat house on the hill with 2 acres? No, that's not your first house. Not your first house. You know what your first house is? The one that one of your salaries could pay for. That's your first house. Why? Because your next house, you're going to step up and you're going to rent that one. And people say, well, how could you do that? Because the rent is going to pay that mortgage. It's not going to count against your debt to income ratio. And I can show anyone how to do that every day long, but that's what you do. And then you're in the next house, and you know what? Take it easy. That's 2 houses. That's 2 assets you have. You don't have to rush and go, oh, let me get another one. No, take your time. Take another 3 years. Go get another one. You've built equity. You're going to get a rent out the second one, or you can put a tenant into one you're buying. Now you have 3 homes. When you bought, you waited 3 years. That's 2 more. So that's 6 years, and you have 3 homes. You could wait another 5 years before you get another one. Then you have 4 homes. And when you turn 65, you sell 4, sell 3, keep 1, and rent 2. I mean, it's a process that you can do, even if you're 40 or 50. But you got to start with 1 house. Jennifer, I'm sorry. Go right ahead. Oh, thank you. You have your debts that come out every month, and you have your income that comes in every month. You want to make sure that your debts that come in every month are way below your income that you get every month. And the lower your debt is, the better your debt to income ratio is. Are you with me? Thank you. Pardon me. Debt to income ratio is your monthly income, your monthly debt. You notice I keep debt weight out here, right? Your monthly debt. And the lower your monthly debt is, the higher your debt to income ratio is. That's why you have to manage your debt, and that's why I don't believe in having a lot of credit cards. Extra credit cards is extra money to spend that you don't have. Could you imagine if you borrow money from a friend of yours? You've known him a long time. And then at one point you say, man, I'm not paying you back. Whoa, you're just going to throw a friendship out there because you don't want to pay it back? Remember I told you that business and personal, everything's the same relationship? Well, you borrowed the money from the people over there at Chase. What? They did not shove it down your throat. No pun intended. You follow me? They did not. You went on and said, I'll take that credit card. You got to pay it back. You can't hide from your responsibilities in life. So be responsible, right? I like saying that because I was not responsible till I got older. But that's how it works, though. But you got to own up to it. That's why the man in the mirror that you see every morning, that's why he's so important. You can't lie to him. Well, you can say, I wasn't there. Really? What do you mean? It's the same guy in the mirror every morning. You cannot tell him you weren't there. I didn't make that decision. It wasn't on me. Of course it was. And the man in the mirror knows because he was there with you. Yes, he was. Okay, so, and the asset diversification, that's where you're going now. I remember when the gentleman helped us with the $1,000, we found that money. We bought some mutual funds, put it away. I think it was Oppenheimer funds, Oppenheimer. There's also, stocks and bonds. There's certificates of deposit. What we don't want to do is get into anything that's volatile. What do I mean by volatile? Here today, gone tomorrow. Quick money. Money can't be quick. It's all zeros. How fast can zeros move? Come on now. It's all zeros. Zeros are wobbling around. They can't run. Ones run, zeros don't. So you can't be in this life chasing zeros and expect everything to balance out. Not at all. It won't happen. Okay, so when you diversify your assets, that's what I mean, different type of investments. But I can use that just in real estate sense. if you could park. You know, you start off in real estate, excuse me, you get your first home, big asset. Did I tell you that cars are not assets? I hope I said that. Cars are not assets, cars are liabilities. So someone's going to try to convince you. Well, I know a friend of mine that just sold his car for, 40,000. I would venture to say he bought it for 60. Okay, so assets are real estate. Then you take it out and you look at your second property. When I say ROI, return on your investment, and that's a calculation that we can do and get into, no doubt about it. Okay, now 5 years later, 6 years later, you're on your third property. Rate of return. Okay, and there's a calculation for that too. Oh my God! Then you get the bug because now, Ruth, you got 3 properties, and you and your lovely husband go, well, how about if we get like a little apartment complex? That sounds like a reach, right? It's not, because people are paying rent, and their rent covers your debt on your mortgage. It's called debt to service ratio, DSCR. You can buy yourself a 5-unit multi-unit building after you get 3 properties or 4 properties. What I'm saying, there's no limit to what you can do because money works for you when you work money. But it's a matter of really what you want to get. Do you want to continue working hard until you're 70? Or do you want to take the time to show the discipline and the focus to be able to make yourself grow? Really, that's what it is. So, are you with me? I can talk a lot. So if I just keep going too fast, just say, Barry, slow down. I'm there. But I'm telling you that's an opportunity for everyone. Okay? I talked about it a little bit. I'm not going to stress on it, but that portfolio strategy for residential, I've done it for Kim, registered nurse, townhome, triplex, duplex. She just had a baby a year ago, so she eased up. She's just a nurse. And she's like, hey, I want to build a portfolio. Another friend of mine, Indley, same thing. Took his time. Boom, boom, boom. I guess I should these names ready, but I wasn't here to show off what I did. It's really to get you guys together. I'm just telling you that I've done it. It can happen. It can work for you. But don't feel that you're too young and don't feel that you're too old. There's no such thing. You could be 25 and get going. You can be 45 and get going. Do the numbers at 45. Go ahead. 45, you wait till you're 48. 1 house. You bought one at 45. That's 2 houses at 48. 51, you get another house. That's 3. 54, you get another house. That's 4. 58, you get another house. That's 5. You know what? I'm tired of working. I'm retired at 60. So sell 3 of them. You still got 2 left. It's a tried and true formula, but most agents just want to sell you a house. I want to build a portfolio. I want to build your portfolio because we can do it. When I sold that couple, they both worked at Walmart. They bought a nice 3-bedroom, 3-bedroom, 2-bath house on Walmart salary. Nothing against Walmart. I just know Walmart don't pay the same as IBM. That's all I'm saying. But they did it. Discipline and focus. Ruth?
Walmart 14.
Yeah, Ruth is still on income. For real though. And I think that's kind of where they were. So imagine that. That's excellent, Ruth. And that's right. And they bought a house. You know? They didn't want to build a portfolio. They were just like, I want to buy a house because they were like, I just want a house. And when I say that, that's important. When you get more assets, it is more work. Let me not, because you got to manage your assets. You know, but now I gave everyone my business card. We do property management. So it's not a real stress on your brain because we'll do that for you. But the point is, just be prepared to think, work, use your brain, you know, stuff that we can do, we can do in our whole life. Yes, honey? I'm sorry.
So if people are interested in buying homes, have some money saved, have to have something saved. But they always have for first-time home buyers, sometimes the government gives you money towards closing, or definitely have to put some money.
Yeah, that's a must. You got to save. And let me just say this: there are programs that I work with where you can accept gift money, where people can actually say, "Yo, we'll give you money towards your house." So there are a lot of programs. I'm not going to get into detail today. I just want everyone to know, leaving here today, that if I focus, discipline, and save money, and put a budget together, I can buy a house in a year. I can buy a house in 2 years. I can, depending on where you are, you might buy a house in 6 months. But if you don't take that first step, not going to happen. And having fun, if I could really explain to you guys how much fun I had in my 20s, you guys would be like, really? And you still made it? Yeah. So I say to people, you don't have to have that much fun, though. Like, thank you, honey. You just don't have to have that much fun, though, because you don't. I mean, we used to go to Jamaica and do all this stuff, but I think back now on all the trips, man, if we'd been stacking that money, we'd have had other homes. We had a Tallahassee house, North Miami, Plantation. We could have done more, but we had fun. What can I tell you?
The thing about it is, it's about budgeting, right? So if you know you like to go one place a year for vacation, we used to have a big water
I
gun
forgot about
and just throw change. What other change you finish with the store, you just put it in that bottle. And when you get ready to go vacation, you have like $1,500. You didn't even expect you have that much money, but that's just spending money to go on vacation. So you don't have to neglect yourself and say, I'm not gonna do things. But use your spare change for that, but still put away at least 10% of your income. And some of you all who have jobs that give you
401k.
401k, sometimes the company will match you. And so if you put away 10%, if you 5%, you put away 15%.
Okay, so my wife just said everything I was gonna say. But no, no, but that's no, that's my wife. What do you mean? She could do that. What do you mean, Em? She could do that, right? But she can, because she's absolutely right. Um, I was speaking with someone just recently that was putting away 15% on the 401k. His company was matching 10. Yes, I know someone else that's putting away 10%, and their company's matching 5. But there, I also met a lady that did my blood work at Quest, and Quest is a big company. She was not even in her 401k. She'd been there 3 years and never even knew they had a 401k. Yep, that's a fact. So that day when I was doing my blood, I said, just sign on now, let's go do it. And she went to benefits while she was doing that. Her coworker was like, "You're not done with him yet?" But she did. She went on to Quest HR, went to benefits, and signed up for the 401k. If you have a job with a W-2, sign up for your 401k. If they match 5, do 10. If they do match 10, do 20. You're not going to miss that money. That's pre-tax dollars.
And the money that you put away, you can use it as a first time home buyer. They'll let you have some of that money back towards your house.
See why I married her?
But
You see why I married her? You see?
how,
No, no, no. What she was, I'm sorry. No, no, no. She was saying that when you do the 401k, they allow you to use that money for your first home if you want to.
I worked for the post office, so I would put away 10% and they matched it, right? But when we were ready to buy a home in North Miami, I said the full money for the down payment on the home.
From the 401k. That's a great. Then you got your first serving plan. You've got your deferred comp. Some people still do pension, but wherever you work, find out how it benefits you. Because sometimes you won't even notice. I tell you, not sometimes. You will not notice that money. You will not.
Isn't it do they still, I heard somebody say at one point time, it was a penalty pulling out a 401k.
Yeah, but yeah, that's correct. But see, that's why my wife was strategizing, saying that. But for first time home purchase, there is no penalty. Correct. Correct. Yeah, because they don't want you. They don't really want you to mess with that money. It's your savings, but they'll let you buy a house. And if sometimes you can write a hardship letter. I lost my, yeah, I lost my 2 legs. I can't walk. My elbow fell off. Hardship. You know what I mean? Yeah. So like you got my point. Thank you. Thank you. It's got to be real. You can't go, I hurt my leg. I can't walk. No, that's not enough. Okay. So
That's what happened when I bought my house. I went to the first time buyer program. And a lot of people think you have to have a lot of money, but you really don't. I went to the first time buyer program and all I had to have was like $3,000 down.
okay. That's a great segue. Let's talk about that. That
What I did was I was gonna use my taxes, but I didn't know if they were gonna come back in time. And so I did use my 401k.
Yep,
I
that's
had
it.
$500 earnest money. then $3,000.
Yeah, that's fact. That's a fact. I mean, and let's talk about numbers since you brought. That's really great. Let's talk about an FHA mortgage. Just great mortgage, first time, second, doesn't matter. It's a great mortgage. If you buy a house for 200,000, you have to come up with 3.5. Write these down, please, because I don't want anyone to think I didn't make. I'm not making numbers up. You buy a $200,000 house, you come up with 3.5% for down payment. That's equivalent to $7,000. Stick with me. Your closing costs are going to be around 6,500 to 7,000. But we're going to round it up and be conservative. That means that if you come up with $14,000, you can buy a house. And I don't know, but I know for a fact there are people that use that money. They can spend $14,000 on FanDuel in 1 year. You follow me? Boom. And now people say, well, what can you get in Macon for 200,000? I'm working with a buyer out of Savannah looking for a house. I sent him 2 homes in North Macon, 31210. I hear that's a pretty decent zip code. Okay? One was 169 and one was 179. And they were both 3-bedroom, 2-bath on a full lot. It's not even 200,000, man. In a nice, pretty nice area. So I'm saying here that if we all got together and got serious, everyone here could be a homeowner within the next year to 3 years. And some of us that are babies, just saying, that means that you're going to have a house before you're even 30, and you're getting a house every 5 years from 30, 35-1, 42, 45-3, 50, 4, 55-5, and you know, I'm tired of working. I'm going to retire at 60. Was that 6 houses? Did I count that right?
And I'm not sure, but one lady said that in every 5 years you consider a first-time home buyer.
I didn't want to get technical about it because, that is so many advantages of owning a home. Because don't forget, when you're renting, you're secure. And you're really helping that landlord build up money to go buy himself another house. That's what we're doing. We're helping it. And nothing, we want to be helpful, but let's help ourselves. How about that? Let's help ourselves. Okay? So, are you with me? So I say that the opportunities are really the opportunities that we make for ourselves. That's important to know that, okay? So the next thing I was getting at, commercial property and cap rates, vacancy, net operating income, all those are important. But after you get your first house, I will take you wherever you need to go. Because people don't realize that a five apartment complex, 5-unit apartment complex, that's commercial property. Okay, so go ahead, Park. And when you look at market conditions, residential is less volatile, a lot more stable. Because the thing I should point out, when you're renting and you get 30 days past due on your rent, your landlord starts eviction proceedings. Because you're 30 days past due, the guy's got to make his mortgage payment. When you own your own home, they don't start foreclosure proceedings until you're 4 months past due. Not that you want to be 4 months past due. I'm just saying you're more secure in your home when it's yours. That's all I'm saying. And sometimes you might be looking to switch jobs and you're out of work for 2 months. Nothing that you did bad, but you took a test, you're waiting for them to call you, you're doing a little part-time something, and the mortgage might fall past due for a month or two. Oh, thank God I own it. I ain't got to go nowhere. That's just a fact, And you're building equity while you do all that, exactly. And then you see the bull and bear market. That's all that means is that when it's a bull market, the stock market is rolling, the economy is great, everything is sweet. And then when it's a bear market, it's the opposite. But if you're saving, it doesn't matter. I would talk about showing buyer's market, seller's market, and all that. But I can tell you right now, we're in a buyer's market. That's where we are right now. Rates are high. Sellers are dropping prices. It's a buyer's market. This is where we want to be. Please, Park. Thank you. So we talk about what we need to do to buy a house, to get ahead, to build wealth. I talked about focus because that's the discipline. And if you're really disciplined enough, I mean, really focused, you can do anything. One of my best friends in California, who had more fun than me when we were in our 20s, and he's right now one of the biggest distributors in San Diego County. And I tell Rick all the time, I said, Rick, you're disciplined. You're disciplined. He's just so disciplined. The guy cooks his whole week's lunch on Sunday so he won't waste time in the week when he's working. Packs it every day, puts it on his dashboard so the sun warms it up. When it gets warm, 2, 3 in the afternoon, just sit in the car and eat it and go to his next appointment because he's that disciplined. I'm not saying everyone should be that way, but discipline is discipline. Did I mention that he's one of the biggest distributors in San Diego County? Crazy. Your Uncle Rick, that's who. Yeah. And then attitude. Nothing really stops him. Like, we talk and he's always on the grind, like focused. Just so his focus causes him to have a great attitude because he knows why he's here. He knows why he's here. So little things. The other day, something on his vehicle broke. He sent me a picture. He said, "Yeah, I just want to rent a car." So he just rented a van. Keep it moving. The mechanic had his vehicle that he delivers with for 2 days. He rented a van, kept it moving. And he did the numbers. If I rent a van for 2 days, this much, how much would I make while I have it? He's like, yeah, I'm renting a van. But it's attitude. Some other people would be like, my van's down. Oh, I can't believe it. And you spend 2 hours complaining and, yeah, thank you. I couldn't get the right word. I don't want to thank you. Complaining about whatever. No, don't do that. And then when you talk about communicating, if you're having a bad day, it's okay. But you cannot communicate that to other people with your body language and the way being terse. I believe the way I picked it up the other day. Terse. Can't be terse. You know what I mean? Can't do that. You have to maintain a good attitude. Not being funny. Do we really care that you had a flat tire? Honestly. I mean, I feel terrible, Ruth. You know what I mean? Like I feel, you know what I mean? Like I feel terrible. You know what I mean? Oh, sorry, I got a flat tire. Oh God. Oh, Em. Flat? Oh my God. Oh God, you got a flat. No one cares. No one cares. God, I hope I didn't bring bad news to anybody. But no one cares. So you might as well have your flat, deal with your flat, go to work. Hey, good morning, let's get it in. There's no need to bring your stuff, again, distractions, and start distracting others. Come on, man. Big up yourself. Have a good attitude. Get it in. Confidence drives that. If you believe in you, I've heard from many people, if you believe in you, this life right here is cake. Cakewalk. That means that you can have a baby in high school, take care of your family, and never leave your job after 10 years. Because you're like, can't do that. Because you're, boom. Yes. Yes. That's confidence. Confidence. Confidence, man. That's a. Yeah. But confidence is important. They're laughing, right? Because I'm a little older than some of the people here, and I still play basketball like I'm a crazy man. So they laugh, but that's because I got a lot of confidence in Barry, man. I bet on me every day, all day, on. Oh, I don't care what silo either. Put me in any silo. If I'm there, I'm good, and I believe that. And if you believe that, nothing stops you. You got to believe in yourself. Everything around you in this world is not telling you that. They want you to depend on experts. I don't know where the guy went to school. You mean I don't know? I was born in Jamaica. I grew up in the Bahamas. If you picked a mango fresh off the tree, and when you bit it, all the mango juice ran down your hand, you can tell me how to live my life. If you didn't do that, don't do that. If you haven't been snorkeling with no tank, no nothing, and you can see the bottom of the beach, of the ocean, and you experience that, we can talk. But you can't go to the University of Connecticut and tell me how life works. You can't tell me how my life works. I've been accused of having a bad attitude, by the way. Oh, Barry, you don't listen to nobody. No, I don't. No. I know what I'm doing, and I'm doing it my way. The reason I'm like that, I'm sorry. And I'll tell anyone this. Bet on yourself. Whatever you bet on yourself on doesn't work, there's a million suggestions out there. Just Google it. But try yourself first. Because if it don't work the way that you envision it that it's going to happen for you, you can Google it. You can ask your cousin. You can ask your nephew. You can ask anybody. But did you try it your way first? Bet on yourself. That's the confidence that you need. I left out knowledge. I just noticed it. But what knowledge is building your skill set. That's why you're here tonight. You're building your skill set. You can really sit down now because people look at their paychecks. Your paycheck is not your money. Your money is what you make before taxes. And then now it's up to you to differentiate how you want to save that money and spend that money. But if you don't know how much you make, which is your hourly rate, I hope everybody wrote it down, times your 40-hour week, that's your week, and you have 52 weeks in the year. That's your yearly income. And when you get to your hourly, times your 40 hours, times your 52 weeks, and you divide that by 12, that's your monthly income. I did that the other day with someone. Their household was bringing in over $80,000 a year, and I don't think they knew it. And I don't think they knew it because they never really sat down and did it like that because they got car payments, gas, I mean, all the same budgeting stuff, you know? We all have it. But if you don't do the budget with your income and your expenses, you don't know what you're doing. And that's really key, really key. And even though I just said to you, I don't really listen to people. I mean people that try to tell me how to live my life. Yeah, that's what I mean. That I should be clear. I just don't like you try like. But as far as listening to pick up knowledge, all day, man, all day, all day, and that's the most important skill that we have. Because if you're not confident in who you are, you're not going to listen to pick up knowledge. Okay, Park. Wow, that's a lot of time. Thank you. Write down one financial goal. I like it. Okay. Yeah. You know what? You know one of my sayings? If your neighbor has more stuff than you, you'll never break in your house. I don't see why that's funny. Like I'm like, what's that funny? I'm sorry. I swear to that was not a joke. Okay, maybe I said it wrong. Let me rephrase that. Um, Jennifer, you're not helping. No. That's my wife. Just what I mean by that is historically, people worry about what other people are doing, the Joneses, the Harrises, the Lopezes. Not our job. You do what you do to make sure you're comfortable. And if you only have, and I'm just using it as an example because we actually live with a family like that. You have your one little Mercedes Benz that you're just trying to get that payment on. And every time you come in and out of your house, your neighbor's looking at you like, why you got a Benz? And you don't get it. And that's when I started telling my wife, I just hope and pray that every time I have a neighbor, they got more stuff than me. Because if your neighbor has more stuff than you, your friends got more stuff than you, whoever it is, your life's free. They ain't checking you. You talking about shit, I got more than you. Oh, I got more stuff than them. And that frees up your life. So that's why I have financial literacy is community power. If you got stuff, he got stuff, everybody got stuff, ain't no one coming in your house. You build a community that way. That's really what I want to do in Macon. Because I've been here 3 years and I haven't felt the vibe of let's go in Macon. Let's go get it. Let's go let's build ourselves up. I don't get that vibe in Macon. And I think we can do it. And I'm gonna do a series of these things. The next one's in November. Generational wealth. You hear about people talking about I'm rich. I made it. I got money. I think I'm a baller. We've all heard it. No, you're not. Wealth is generational, but it starts with you. If you don't do enough that your children, your son, your daughter can pick up and do more because you left them something to work with, then no, it didn't work. Generational. Okay? Having a Rolex is not wealth. I know, you know what I should say? A Rolex is not wealth, a Benz, a Beamer, a Bugatti. I don't know all the stuff because I'm happy just playing basketball. So I don't know really but I know one thing. Wealth starts really inside of you. Because if you believe in yourself, you're going to always feel good about where you are. And it's easier to go out and do stuff when you feel good about yourself. Someone that looks different from you does not intimidate you. When someone comes out to the basketball court with a camera, you don't start acting like a monkey. You're trying to impress somebody. Hashtag impress yourself. Go with that. Hashtag impress yourself. And if you take care of you, you can get wherever you want to go. That's what I got. Okay? We go stronger together. If I'm good, M's good, we're good, Soraya's good, Aaliyah's good, Ruth is good, TK's good. You're good. You're good. And we just all grow and rise. So let's do that. Okay. We're in September. We're going to get together in November. Everyone here has my phone number. It might be too early, but you don't have to tell me. Well, you could tell me. Em, do you have a goal for the next 30 days? Yeah, you think you'll have 5,000 by then? That's a very good goal. Soraya, anything particular?
I put 3.5K.
That's great. How about Leah? How about yourself?
I just said to save more than I spend.
That's a fact. Yeah, see, that's really good. Ruth, anything particular?
Just put financial wealth, budget growth.
That's a lot, Ruth. That's a lot. But I want you to really think about what can I do the next 30 days. Think through that. Don't rush, but think through that. What can I do for my betterment the next 30 days? I love what he said. He's gonna seriously start stacking. He's stacking. She's stacking.
Right.
And she said, I'm gonna spend less money than I've been spending.
Yeah.
That's a start.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That is because you can do that. And TK, I apologize. What's your name again? Trevante, my fault. Hey man, thank you. Vante, I got you. Jesus, man, I'm trying. Thank you. Sorry, I get excited. I'm sorry. So, TK, I'm gonna ask you first. No, I'm not. Vante, what's your goal for the next 30 days?
I put save more than I spend. I mean, I got the 401k, but I look at it like spending, so I'm still saving. But I can't look at it like that because I got to do something else.
That's a fact. TK, how about yourself?
I'm just gonna, I think I'm gonna stop spending money on food.
That's a good one.
Like that's my biggest thing. I just eat a lot.
Okay, no, so listen, I heard everybody. Jendy, how about yourself? Anything?
So, Aaliyah, I'm going to say more.
Park, how about yourself? Hallelujah.
I like your goal. Spend less on eating out and eating in
Okay,
the house.
okay, so everybody here, honestly, is going in the right trajectory. But the one term I was looking for is I'm going to tighten up my budget. Because putting it on paper is yes, that's a start. But please, in the next week, next 5 days, figure out your income. Again, hourly rate times 40 hours. 52 weeks, because that's your weekly, divided by 12 for your monthly, and you know your income. And if you get paid every 2 weeks, you know where you are. Okay? But that's where you start, is putting a budget together. I'll suggest, right.
So what would you say the percentage versus wants and needs would be in your budget?
Okay, that is a great question. And her question was, when you doing your budget, you still have your wants, and you know your needs. She said, how do you prioritize that? right? How do you prioritize having your needs? Because the reality is, you're not going to get rid of all of your wants. You're not going to get rid of all of your wants. But what you have to look at your wants and really put in the mindset of, did I really need that? Did I really need that? I always want to use one example, but I can't use it here because I know we're going live and all that. But were you shut off? Okay, so so if you find yourself that, Friday night I get me a case of beer or a six pack and I just relax. I can't sit here and tell you that's wrong, but if you do that once a month versus 4 times a month, that's a win. If I eat out, if I let's use let's let's use eating for example. Forgive my laugh. I already know about that. I know that side of the room. I know them. Okay, so let's use eating. If you find you're eating out 5 days a week, if you cut back to once a week, that's a big hit.
That's what I said. Right?
Yeah.
I actually have a budget, but mine, I only write mine down when I'm trying to work towards something. So I got to copy something else. I seen 5.
Well, you
I'm
see,
trying to do something. My little boy want to go to Legoland. He want to go to that Legoland down there. So when I was doing the budget, he covered that. I seen 5 when it come with crazy a lot of that stuff.
your the entertainment budget, right? Guys, can I tell you? Look at your entertainment budget. Look at your entertainment budget. I was telling my son, and my wife, we were getting some Vietnamese food the other day, and there's a liquor store right next to the Vietnamese place. Let's say where you're sitting is the Vietnamese place. People would get out of their car. I think it's funny, and they would go like this, and go to the liquor store. So I said, why are you taking a U-turn? I'll tell you why. Because your entertainment budget's too high, and you know it. You know you shouldn't be getting that liquor every week. So if you're getting liquor every single week, cut back to once a week. I'm sorry, once a month. I apologize. So, good one. You follow me though? So to answer your question, Sarai, it's just moderating your behavior. Is all it is. You know, moderate your behavior.
Then he says, "Can't you do your hair yourself?" Okay, that was a lot.
Yeah.
But I did it, and I went like every other month, only when I wanted to cut and
Like I could tell you all the story that when he told me that, I just said I'm not cutting my hair no more when I started growing locks, but that's not what happened. Because back then I was a banker and I couldn't wear locks. But I tell you what, after I got my stuff together and I was like, you know what, I'm getting ready to get out of this game. I had not cut my hair since 2003. Wow. No. Nope. I'm free. That's why I'm free. I bet on me, and I'm free. I like them bars. Yeah, I bet on me, and I'm free. And I say to everybody, bet on yourself. You can free up yourself because you're going to see what you can accomplish by just putting it on paper and budgeting. That's betting on you, by the way. Your budget is you saying to yourself, you know what, I can do this. I'm going to cut back on a few things. Like, for example, no one in this room should be eating fast food because you already know you're going to get cancer.
that's the truth.
I'm not making that
I
up.
hope that really hits. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like soda? Like, why would someone get soda? Well, forget about it. Just get the sugar can and just eat the sugar. Come on. I don't think Popeyes is going, you know what, let's make sure everything's good so everyone lives a long time. I don't think they do that. I heard that you can take a Big Mac and when you come back in the year 2596, it'll still be here and look the same. Cheetos, same thing. So just change up your diet, change up, and all that impacts your budget because that's stuff that you're spending money on. But yes, that's yours. And guys, let me just end to say that thank you. One thing I did not mention, there is a thing you can do with your payroll with additional savings. they can take money out of your payroll and take it right into your savings account. They deduct, like say $50 a paycheck. It'll go right, do more, but that's $50 a check, goes into a savings account at your bank, and you tell your bank you want that savings account does not allow you to withdraw. They have those. If you withdraw, it's a penalty. That's how you do additional savings in addition to your 401k. Set up that savings so that money comes right out of your payroll into a savings account before you ever see it. Okay? Yes, Park.
Are there certain types of savings accounts that are better than others? Because I know that like if you get some through your bank, sometimes there's